Even though you have that keyboard in front of you with all those buttons you've pressed millions of times, it's still a lot of fun to just press one button very purposely, you know, just very with a lot of conviction, just really with that one finger just going for it. Alright, anyway, in the bottom right side we have a blue Protoss player fighting for the Dragon Phoenix Gamers. He is ZEST. Top left side, we do have ourselves a red Terran player. He is fighting for the Shopify Rebellion. You guys know him. You've been waiting for him. He is BYUN. DRG Keen was 3-1 in the end. Yeah. Yep, turns out that Keen apparently only managed to win that first game. And, well, it was off of the back of a very successful 2-Rex. DRG asked him whether or not he knew how to do the 2-Rex, and maybe he wasn't really anticipating the 2-Rex to be all that successful. No, regardless, this is not a proxy 2-Rex, it is a proxy engineering Rex. That is, well, gonna be a little bit of a bother to ZEST here. It is fully made as well, as far as you can get it, really. Without risking the completion of the thing. Single Zealot is going to be forced now because of this, and just an overall delay in all of the tech, well, not maybe the tech, but the extra economy that ZEST wants to try and gather up here. Pro manages to get into the base quickly, gets demolished by one of those engineered drills from the SCV. Yep. And ZEST, what's your plan now? He does have to double gas. Might try to add in a little bit of a tech building before he does anything else. Making himself that third pylon. There we go. Stargates will be constructed here. Has to do something with that money. BYUN on the other side already making that command center, of course. And going for the triple Rex follow-up. Has to cancel. Not a little sneaky SCV here. What is he up to? What are you up to, little SCV? Is he just scouting for proxies? He might just be scouting for proxies, honestly. That's what I'm assuming here. Checking the third base. Did you take a third base? No? Alright, well then he's gonna come in here. You know what? He's gonna get a full scout with this SCV. The scout at the 3-minute mark is gonna get the full scout. Wow. Alright, wonderful. Now that is efficiency right there. And he's gonna get out as well, isn't he? Oh my god, imagine if he gets out. Please, Mr. SCV. Oh, the Stalker there, messing up on the ramp area. A little bit of a lag spike here. Not sure what that was. That may be the reason why that Stalker went here instead of here. That may be the reason. That would be a very annoying reason here. I think they're talking about it now. I think this is like... Oh, well, it's a good thing it's not me. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. So many legs. Alright. So it may just be ZEST then. Always deadly afraid that it's me. Imagine that. Your PC lagging and then causing ZEST not to get a kill on the SCV. I mean, usually it's not the thing that decides the game, right? But can be an influence. Oh, there we are. Does still get it. Alright, lovely. Oracle comes in, saves the day. Does have to use up a little bit of that energy, though, of course. BYUN, maybe you should give up. Thank you, Riley, for the translation. Stim and combat shell shields coming up at the same time. Combat Shell, it's the new company. They don't only make oil, they blow it up at the same time. Combat Shell. A war on oil. Who knows? It's a Dutch company, so it would work for me. A little bit of harassment with that Oracle. Gets one extra kill, but I think that may have been a... Wait a moment. Okay. Oh, it must have been a mule. Must have been a mule. Yeah, he got a mule. Alright, that was a little mystery there for me for a moment. It's like he's got 2 kills. There's 1 unit on the unit loss count. It's a mule, yeah, probably. Has to be. Where did I learn English so well? It's probably... I was watching a lot of like old British comedy series and such when I was a kid. That's probably all I watched ever. Oh, hold up here, guys. There is quite a bit of disturbance here. Those Marines, they do get caught by a good couple of force fields, and it does stop this pressure from doing as much as it would like to. Of course, it will need to stim again here, and that's going to put everything into the orange. Not really something you can try to do here with BYUN. He was really hoping he was going to get up that ramp, and then he could have taken a good trade against these gateway forces, but now... Not really, not so much. So where am I from? I'm actually from Madagascar. Yeah. Southern Africa. Madagascar. Alright, so what's going on here? What's going on here? Couple of stalkers. I mean, they're not gonna get too much done, right? They shouldn't get too much done. They got a couple of Marines. That's fine. Please don't tell me he's just going to kill everything here with a couple of stalkers. I don't think he should, but with this ramp area, yeah, that's going to be very... Oh, God, that's an Oracle now. Right, well, we know ZEST loves the micro, but, I mean, BYUN is pretty good with micro too. Mostly just there now to make sure that if there is a Terran moving out, he's going to be aware of it. Adding in a couple of those sentries, already seeing the army of BYUN, anticipating that most likely needs to make a move out eventually here. And every single Marine that he does manage to pick off, that is a great boon to him, of course. Look at that unit trade value already. Looking very sharp for the Blue Protoss. Army supply right now, of course, not really in his favor, but he has those shield batteries at home ready to help him be safe. Safe is exactly what I think he will be. A couple of extra gateways as well, going to help out this situation quite nicely. Alright, there we go. There is the drop into the main base. Targeting down a couple of those stalkers. Where are the rest of the forces? I mean, ZEST is sending absolutely everything. There is another attack coming over as well. It's taking them a while, though, to do anything. There was an entire opening into the third base as well. Oh, my God. Imagine if that timed up nicely together. BYUN not quite being able to make that occur, though. And the attack in the main base already cleaned up before the rest gets there. It looks like he's just gonna... He's not even gonna try to do the double-pronged attack anymore. Just sends in 2 more medevacs. I mean, was that a worth trade for him? Why is he trying to do this again here? Is my kind of question overall. Maybe hoping that ZEST is gonna send out those stalkers at some point. BYUN is coming up once more onto the third base here. Gets rid of the Oracle. Oh no, wait, that was an hallucination. That was a hallucination. Just saw a little loop disappear and... Oh, scary stuff here for BYUN. I think he realized that that is an hallucination, as there's no target fire onto the Colossus whatsoever. Just trying to take out those sentries. BYUN not falling for it just yet. And there's the drop into the main base now as well. It's going to be able to fight off against those lower number of stalkers. Just doing an alright job here. And on the other side, the Widowmines. Okay, good connection there. Avoids the friendly fire. One more Widowmine ready to help out. But there's no more Zealots here. Just a couple of stalkers. It looks like BYUN taking a wonderful fight against those Stalkers on the top side. Not sure if he has what he needs to push in here as well, but you know what? So far, it looks like he's doing alright. Gets rid of more Stalkers and kind of just casually backs up here now. He lost 11 workers. Where in the... What made him lose 11 workers? Bit of counter-aggression, it seems, from ZEST also coming in. It's a tough one to call, really. I mean, army-wise, BYUN now a little bit in the leads. Worker-wise, still ZEST kind of holding the ropes there. Not by too much, though. Especially considering the, you know, the mule's existence here. Void Ray, what in the world? I like this Void Ray, actually. You know what? It's a pretty cool thing to build here for ZEST. He's been being harassed by those drops all the time. So just having a single Void Ray here ready to prismatic align and take out a single one of those medevacs would be a great way to just kind of keep your main base a little bit safer than it would be otherwise. He did remake the Cybercore, right? He didn't. Okay. That's interesting. Am I crazy? He's still not rebuilding. Oh, okay, there it is. Zealot run by once again. Comes in here, but... only 2 SCVs and a force cancel on that other base, though, so... Still pretty good. Still pretty solid. BYUN comes up here onto the ramp. The force field's not in place in time, and that is... A lot of these Stalkers going down. The Immortal now being targeted as well. ZEST is sticking true to the gateway forces. So far, you know what, he is holding on here, but more forces for the Terran come up as well. I feel like BYUN might be able to slowly start turning this around. I'm not so sure. That's a lot of Stalkers. And the bio is getting lower and lower on the HP. ZEST, don't walk across those things. Okay. As the observer in place, still losing the Void Ray, but that is not the most important unit to have sticking around here. Alright. Things stabilize. Crazy. Crazy, crazy. Storm coming up. First bit of AoE damage finally going to be accessible here for ZEST. But we already have the Ghost coming in as well. So, I mean, BYUN's looking to be prepared for that. That'd be a difficult position for ZEST to truly make something happen here. He does have the War Prism, of course, ready to help out with those High Templar. Ensure that they don't just get EMP'd for free. And again, we've seen some of the craziest Ghost Micro from this man, so let's see how it goes. This is one of the best Micro Protoss as well. Ooh, those are some great storms already, kicking it off straight away. And blammo. Alright, well, I mean, BYUN may already be considering moving back right now. Although the storms were utilized, he's going to try to push in again here. 2 more storms available in that War Prism. Yes, sir. He just had 2 more available, just like that. Zealots coming in from behind, and BYUN overstepping his fortune here quite heavily. Will be taking quite a bit of a beating there from the Protoss forces. Still going to try to make something happen here. Those Widow Mines will never reset, and unfortunately didn't get the greatest hits in. +2/+2 will finish up for both these players as well momentarily. There's ZEST's next step on the tech tree. The Robo facility as well as the Robo Bay. It's making 6 High Templars at a time here. And BYUN. He is... Oh, you know what? He's also getting ready for the next set of units here. He's already upgrading the flyer attacks, right? For his ships. Very cool to see. That's going to help out the Vikings as well as the Liberators, depending on what it goes for. I would assume it's going to be a couple of Vikings. I know that he really does like his Vikings, but you know what? I'm hoping to kind of see the Liberators here as well. Already having those first couple of High Templars and such coming out. A lot of gateway units overall. I think Liberators could do very well here. Let's see. Still mainly Ghosts as well as Marines on the production. I think that that upgrade for like the ships is... Oh my god, that's a big fight happening. Yeah, Storm's coming in again pretty soon. BYUN needs to keep moving backwards. Storms, oh, moves forwards with a small group of units to try and snipe out those High Templars being dropped from the War Prism. Only gets one of them though. And BYUN here once again in trouble. It looked like it was going quite well for him in the earlier parts, but ZEST slowly but surely been taking full control over this map. It's now almost 30 supply ahead. Well, 20 supply now. Still not great for BYUN. Just gonna try to set up shop on a 5th base. 5th base for ZEST already available. Mining just starting now. Missile turrets, and there are the Viking. So yeah, so I was saying the getting the upgrade for ships and such. Just kind of prepping, right? It's good to already have it going. It takes a long time to have those upgrades going. So if you already have them, ooh, good EMPs there. Hold up, guys. We may have the end game situation here. Big fights coming in right now. Big EMPs hitting, and BYUN in a very awkward position, though. He has to come down the ramp, so he's taking an enormous amount of damage from those Colossi. The Vikings nowhere to be seen. I think we just had about 2 Vikings in total there to try and fight off against 4 of those Colossi, as well as the War Prism, and GG is called. Yeah, ZEST. Alright, well, anyway. Top right side, we got a man going for the 2 SCV, 1 SCV across the map. He is BYUN. 2 SCVs. Alright, well, maybe a 3rd. Bottom left side, we do have ourselves a red Protoss player. He is a diligent one. Dragon Phoenix gamer man himself. ZEST. I would be very surprised if he doesn't go scouts here, yeah. Here he comes. You see Maru's run yesterday. I did not manage to see Maru's run yesterday. Was that... Where was this run? Where do we see this run? Probe sees there's not much going on in the base of BYUN now, as BYUN has those 2 barracks, of course, setting up shop across the map. A nice position there in between the destructible rocks and little high ground area near the 3rd base of ZEST. Very difficult for melee units to try and get a good fight going there. Yeah, SCV sees that there are those 2 gateways being produced. No nexus, of course. ZEST making the right calls so far to not die straight up against this. See if he will be able to keep that up. That's the first Marine. Need to have 3 Marines here really to start doing something. Just so you can micro against the Zealot that is running around, of course. As well as the probes. Right, there we go. 3 Marines coming forwards. 2 Zealots now as well, though. Stalker coming up. It's kind of looking like a floating fish in the water already here, kind of, guys. You know, it's never a good thing to see a fish float in the water with his belly upwards. Because the belly is the... Oh, the belly is the... It's the same with, like, humans, right? Our hands, they're very white on the inside because there's no sunlight there ever. Fish are the same way, so if you ever see a fish swim upside down, it's most likely about to be eaten by a fish, because it's very clearly visible now. Which is why they only do it if they're about to die. So yeah, BYUN here, a little bit upside down on the waters. Kind of exposing his soft white underbelly to the flying seagull ZEST here. That is roaming around above the waters, trying to have a good meal going for himself. Oh, there we are. There's the pylon and a shield battery. He's putting down shield batteries here, guys. Are you kidding me? All right, well, here we go. It's happening. The Widowmine gets a good connection though, and the Marines are here now as well. So this is not gonna work out. But that was a really fun thing to see. 3 of those Stalkers coming on through now. We'll try to get some of the poke damage to continue, or at least delay a potential second base here for a little bit. BYUN, he's got one hell of a tough task ahead of him here, I'd say. Well, he's still fairly similar on the workers. Is it that bad? Is it that bad? I don't know. It might be okay. He's gonna have this medevac harassment pretty soon. Like, he's not entirely upside down, right? What's up, Miguel? Miguel? The Frenchman? The best of Frenchmen in the world. There is another little command center there. As the medevac with the Widowmines is aiming towards the base of ZEST. There's not much here to defend against it. Luckily for ZEST, there's not that many probes in the natural either, so they will be they won't be dying as quickly. They'll be fairly safe. Oh, that could be alright. 4 probes. I mean, it gets out of that. If he gets out of that with everything, that'd be insane. Okay, well, 1 Widowmine for 4 probes. Pretty good, pretty good. What did he make with that tac lab on the starport? Nothing. Nothing. Just wanted a tac lab. Oracle kind of keeping tabs on what's happening, but I mean, it's missing out on some crucial information here. The army of BYUN is coming out. Was that more Widowmines? 2 more probes go down. One Widowmine still remaining in that place over here. Oracle sees that the army is nowhere to be seen. It's over here right now. Whopping in more Stalkers. Has the shield battery. I think it should be okay. Yeah, this looks perfectly manageable for ZEST. Wonder what BYUN his plan is from this situation here. Did kind of get spotted out. I think maybe he was just hoping to have the army of ZEST accidentally run into his, right? I think that was the plan, to just kind of be sieged up in that place. And ZEST just accidentally taking like 3 hits. This floating fish looking okay. Yeah, he's looking alright now. He's looking alright. You know what? Sometimes the floating fish just kind of, you know, it might be a bird-eating fish that is trying to lure in the bird. And then suddenly he flips back up right side and then he just pulls the bird into the water. Who knows? We got a couple of Stalkers here. Good bit of damage as well as 10 probes. Jeez Louise, where did that come from? Looks like more Widowmines will just be coming in. A Liberator there as well, helping out, it seems. A lot of probes going down. I would assume that was the Liberator there, guys. My apologies, I didn't manage to catch it. But yeah, the Liberator, the new addition to stuff that is dead on the Terran part of things. And assuming that was the harassment factor right there. Anyways, 34 probes now available only for ZEST. This is a great position for the dead fish in the water. I mean, we're just gonna have to come up with a new analogy. Or just roll with this. dead fish that is somehow eating up a bird story. Who knows? It's a cool one, after all. Alright. 51 army supply strong here versus 21. 30 more army supply available for BYUN. As well as a worker lead. Although, be it that is only a worker lead of 2. Still pretty impressive. Third base coming up here. It might get cancelled by the Blink Stalkers. Not sure. Yeah, BYUN is under pressure right now from this. So that's a good delay. That's a great delay there from ZEST. Will be trying to find himself that bit of extra economic damage here. Ooh, BYUN gets it better though. Look at the amount of probes. The probes didn't quite get pulled away. The Stalkers were being warped in, but the probes is kind of still remaining there. 13 of them get shot down immediately. And BYUN, I don't know how he's doing it, but again, he's just maintaining that worker lead. And looking incredibly sharp as the dead fish in the water. It's an upside down fish. Okay, well, Oracle here sees them move out. Stalkers will be coming in to try and get that poke damage, delay the Marines and the Marauders as much as possible, allowing ZEST to get more warp ins at home as maybe, you know what, getting some more shield batteries. 2 more shield batteries on the way. Should be good. Oh, those are really good pickoffs. If he got both of those medevacs, that would have been insanity. Another drop here coming in for BYUN. The Stalkers have to be recalled backwards. But that is going to allow this army for the Terran to just move freely across. And GG is called. Just a single drop in the main base. Already enough to destroy all the forces of ZEST. Bottom right side. The blue Terran player tying up the show once again. The Shopify Rebellion. BYUN. No proxy this time around. Top left side, the red Protoss player fighting for the dragon, the Phoenix. And he is a gamer man indeed. He is. ZEST. Wonderful. Wonderful. What beautiful play can we expect from these players this time around? We're not so sure. ZEST is best. Unless if he's, you know, trying to eat an upside down fish, then stuff gets crazy. Stuff gets crazy. Right. Guess they're being taken by BYUN. Very regular stuff here. Nothing in the proxy cards. I'm wrong. Get out of here. I'm never wrong. I'm the perfect human being with perfect knowledge about everything. If I ever was wrong, the world would implode. The universe wouldn't know how to exist anymore. Never wrong. Get out of here. Alright, what are we doing? Second base. Second base is time. Lovely. I don't even know what I'm wrong about, honestly. What was I wrong about, Xenogo Pombo? What was going on there? I swear, if this is about the fish analogy. Right, Stargates! Stargates! Look at that. Oh, CBS is wrong. Oh, okay, I see. Alright, that's just my my fragile ego coming into play, being like, oh, well, this must be about me. Alright, 2 barracks coming up, as well as the bunker here. Wonderful, wonderful. Alright, we're still on game, we're still commentating. 3 barracks are gonna appear before any type of factory here, of course. Worked out well in that second game, I suppose, if we did go for a 3 Rex build, but we didn't. So first game we saw this didn't That must be on as well, right? Am I crazy? I may have forgotten. Maybe wrong right here. Who knows? But then again, probably not. Who knows? Right, having a bit of fun. Anything else? Anything else really interesting? We're seeing phoenixes being constructed. That's pretty cool to see. Phoenix very good against those Widowmine drops and such. You'd think that Phoenix, they wouldn't do that great against Marines, right? Especially with the Combat Shield and the Stim Pack already available, but actually against lower Marine numbers, they just don't have the DPS just quite yet to really gun down those Phoenixes effectively. Phoenix is a surprising amount of HP on those bad boys, especially in comparison to some of the Gateway forces, right? There's just more beef on those Phoenixes, and those Phoenixes not only good at just taking out like a Marauder or a Widowmine that's in between the Marines, very good at tanking that damage as well, and then just allowing Adepts and such to do whatever much damage they need to. Your challenge is the one and the only truth that ZEST is best. Oh, I see, I see. Trying to come up with a good one for BYUN as well. Kind of like... so far ahead, it's BYUN. Leaving ZEST in the dust. BYUN's long gone. No, it didn't quite rhyme. It's like poetry. Imagine that, having to do like poetry as you're casting the game. That'd be interesting. Like you'd have to cast in poetic terms and such. Interesting. Well, these Marines aren't getting anything done, that's for sure. They're already moving back. They're like, well, let's just not risk it. I know the boss wants us to go up there and kill everything, but you know what? Our military service is about to be done. We're gonna go back to playing StarCraft soon. Let's just head back home ourselves. 3 oracles in total. Definitely keeping BYUN on his toes here. That could be a lot of economic damage very quickly if he's not aware where those oracles are trying to get him from. Third base for BYUN is coming up right now. Of course, the third base for ZEST already making minerals come into the bank here. A little bit terrifying. BYUN does have a almost twice as strong army supply over ZEST though. So that might be his ticket to taking down some very important, well, either units or structures for ZEST here. He's going to have to make it work, and there's 5 sentries in total up on top of that ramp. Now, in Wings of Liberty, sometimes we saw the Terran just kind of hoping to get the stim when the Protoss isn't looking and get up that ramp. But, I mean, it's a lot more difficult when there's oracles just continuously revelating your entire army. Right, ZEST, I mean, he's... okay, yeah. This is rough. BYUN needs to get something done, right? He invested so much into this bio ball, and it's just sitting here. He's not losing it either, to be fair, so he might be able to do something with it later, but the economic advantage here for ZEST that is accumulating, I mean, it's rather severe. It is rather severe. There's the stim attempt up onto the ramp, and I mean, ZEST doesn't even bother splitting up the army. It might be because there just wasn't that much around and he didn't want to take the risk of a bad split. And yeah, BYUN's just going to have to go backwards again. He's like, what, 20 workers behind? He didn't do anything with this push because of just an insane amount of the sentries being up on that ramp and Stalkers ready to shoot down anything that tries to get beyond the ramp. So... that does get past those force fields. Very difficult for BYUN as well, of course, to make any drop play happen. We do still have those oracles kind of patrolling around. I do believe we have Blink. Yeah, Blink available also. Very difficult for him to make this all work. Yeah. A little bit frightened of BYUN here. Or for BYUN here. And of ZEST, I suppose. But then again, I did call BYUN a dead fish already at one point in the game and in the series, and that definitely got proven differently there. So I'm gonna keep my mouth shut a little bit longer this time around. Storm is not yet available. There's no real AoE splash damage, but that's a lot of Widow Mines instantly getting force fielded. Those force fields for ZEST are absolutely insane. They are spec bloody tacular. Zealot run by coming in as well on the other side. There does seem to be plenty of bio forces though to take that down. Is gonna group up with everything now. That he's held back that aggression. Medevac drop trying to sneak by on the bottom left side. Looks like the Oracle's caught wind of it. And now with the revelation is going to be able to see exactly what type of army is coming towards the top and what kind of army is coming towards the bottom left. Needs to get a good spread and a good split of his army here. Ready to defend both locations. Is he going to be able to do so? The top side, it looks a little bit underprotected for ZEST here. Storm is a big deal though and does manage to land alright. It's not really anything that will stop BYUN from pushing forwards here. Or is it? It is. Alright, BYUN decides to move backwards. Those Marines, they were getting a little bit low on the HP. One more storm could have taken out a lot of them. So maybe that's why he decides to against it to keep pushing there. And it's just trying to find efficiency rather than real economic damage onto ZEST. And efficiency is definitely what he's finding so far. I mean, if it's one of the strong ways for the Terran supposed to play against the gateway heavy Protoss. Just play it as efficiently as you can. Wild Prism there almost getting targeted down in the yellow HP right now. BYUN really trying to find the kill on that bad boy. It's not quite able to make it work just yet. Two armies of the Terran coming in from two sides. The drop from the bottom left is coming in from the main and top right. There's that other drop. Storms do manage to land still. But is it enough? The bio for BYUN, it is melting slightly, but so are ZEST's forces, and BYUN manages to withstand the army of the Protoss for the time being. Trying to give chase now, trying to kill off as much as he can before ZEST reaccumulates those forces together with the reinforcements and is ready for another go. BYUN sandwich. That was lovely stuff right there. I guess the attack from the top came in a couple of seconds late, but still worked out quite nicely. The storms were good enough though as well to not allow BYUN to simply move across the map from that point onwards. And keeping enough of those Stalkers alive as well here, of course. Revelation, there we are. Stalkers will be able to pick off a couple of those. What is he going for? Medevacs, okay. That's a lot of Medevacs. I would have liked it better if he went for the Widow Mines there, but Medevac's very expensive too. He does have his Robo on the way with the, he did have the Robo Bay as well, right? Am I crazy? I'm crazy. He doesn't have the Robo Bay yet. Am I crazy? I'm not crazy, right? Okay. Yeah, doesn't have that yet, so I thought maybe that would be the reason why, if he gets rid of as many Medevacs as possible, that's gonna cut into the Viking production. And that might be enough then for ZEST to just have those Colossi again. I mean, we saw how good 4 Colossi are against just the 2 Vikings. That is definitely not even one bit of hull damage that was required. I don't think a single one of them even got to half of their shield damage. So let's see if we are going to get something similar here. Bit worried for Mr. BYUN. He's moving away with his army as there is a big ball of Protoss on the right side trying to engage the planetary fortress now. But the army of BYUN still in location. Will be able to repair the planetary and take out a good portion of those zealots. Off he goes, Zest now on the run. Has to be careful. 2 more High Templar in the War Prism. Needs to get good. Oh, he does. High Templar, come on, get the Storm. 1 more Storm gets done. EMP's off. BYUN just continuously being placed underneath the War Prism, making it very difficult for those High Templars to evacuate. And wow, BYUN once again is going to be able to take another victory here. That Oracle, seeing that Oracle that aggressively placed forwards, trying to figure out when BYUN is moving out. Already, right? That is a little bit similar as to when a Terran scans your main base. You know that, alright, very likely something is going to happen here. He's checking to see whether or not he can make something happen here. And that Oracle, it's a little bit of a similar thing, right? If that Oracle sees your army move out, there might be another Zealot run by coming in. There might be something else coming in and just kind of pulling backwards. Pretty good. Update the score. Alright. I guess that would be a good thing. That would be a good thing too. Right, not that much gas being mined here for BYUN. May have some more triple Rex play coming up. Worked out quite nicely the previous time. And the big difference between that game and game number 1, at least the one that I can kind of clearly visualize and remember in that way, is that, well, the first game, BYUN tried to go up to ramp, had half his army force fielded off, and then just kind of played from behind ever since. Game number 3, BYUN sees the sentry, sees the stalkers. He's like, alright, well, you invested a lot in the defense. You delayed some of your AoE splash damage. I'm just not going to attack here. And I'm just going to back up. I'm going to make sure you don't get to trade efficiently. And I'll just try to be efficient in a different way. So 3rd CC. Alright, yeah, there is a 3rd CC. So this is the double Rex from BYUN. It's gonna look a little bit similar to like the triple Rex for ZEST here for well, the triple Rex that we saw beforehand in the eyes of ZEST for a while, but he's not quite sure, right? So this could be a great play for BYUN to get himself a bit of an economic advantage right off the bat. ZEST going for those Blink Stalkers. Could still be a little bit dangerous, of course, in this situation. I mean, the build for BYUN, it's delaying a lot of stuff here. It's delaying a lot of his infantry, as well as it's, well, mostly those siege tanks, right? Medevacs. Anything really to deny any type of aggressive blink play as efficiently as possible is coming in from those later tactics. Unless if you just have an enormous ball of bio, of course, ready on both sides. Then again, you're gonna need to stim to try and take on those stalkers. Well, we'll see. We'll see, I guess. I mean, we only have the double gateway, right? So it's not like any real pressure coming in, and he's going for a 3rd base as well. Things are kind of working out for BYUN all right here, just build wise. Research complete. Kind of like the position that he's found himself in. It's not bad. There's the Stalkers coming across. I mean, 2-gate Stalker versus this might still be able to do some work. I mean, it's 19 army supply versus only 24. And we're going up to 23 right now versus 24, so there's some potential here. There's no stim pack yet either, which is another incredibly big deal. Stalkers, are they going to go for it? He's just kind of checking. Are there siege tanks up here? How many bioforces do you have? What do we want to do? I love the SCVs already on top of that bunker. He knows that's a crucial location to maintain, and willing to spend quite a bit of his mining income here in order to ensure that bunker will not go down. Bit of a drop play behind. BYUN quick on the trigger though, and is going to come in there from that angle as well. Starcraft on the top side, kind of staying stationary there. Thought ZEST was going to try to make something happen on 2 angles here, but the side's against it for the time being. Holy smokes, Batman. That is 7 extra gateways coming up. Charge coming in, as well as the +1 attack. Now, I don't remember seeing ZEST build 7 gateways at a time before. I think we saw like 5, maybe 6, 7. Maybe I'm misremembering, but it seems like an enormous amount. We may have ZEST trying to ramp up this aggression here with a bit of the gateway force. No more probes being built either, right? For quite a while now. I know he's pretty well saturated. No gas on the 2nd base just quite yet. Let's keep an eye out whether or not he wants to take a 4th base. I think that's one of the big things now to look for ZEST here. That's that War Prism. That is the Templar Archives. Alright. So yes, that's just taking us in the long run. The 7 gateways really there just to ensure he's not going to get overwhelmed by an enormous army of bio. Alright. Ooh, look at that. That's just scary, seeing that many units being warped in at once. 10 gateways, guys. 10 gateways. So let's off onto an great adventure into the unknown. Trying to find themselves, well, a watchtower first. That is very unfortunate timing for that Marine. But then again, does give the heads up to the rest of the army that there are a bunch of zealots there. Allowing BYUN to secure that flank. Make sure he doesn't get any real damage being taken there. Storm coming up again as well for ZEST. Bit of control just for the watchtowers so far here. Looks like both of them kind of able to at least maintain control of one of them. So there's the 4th base for ZEST. Army supplies looking very strong for ZEST here as well. It's already equaled out. Of course, that army supply for ZEST here, mostly just Stalkers and Zealots. It's going to come down to positioning here. The really cool thing about this army is that, of course, the Zealots, they kind of want to force the, well, the bio wants to be close together. They want to be huddled up in a little choke. So, no, well, we're going to have to fight. We'll talk about this later. The army of ZEST is marching in. Those Zealots, they are waiting to go. And off we are. EMP's trying to land underneath the War Prism a little bit preemptively there. Doesn't quite get them, and those storms, they are absolutely devastating. The 3rd base for BYUN now in disarray as the natural base suffering a similar fate here. Another storm, not quite managing to kill off the army. But again, putting it all the way into the red. Another stim, even lowering the HP further. And I think we may have ourselves a GG coming up here in game number 5 between these 2 players. Oakley dokily. In the bottom right side, there is a red Protoss player fighting for the dragons, the Phenoi, and all the gamers. ZEST. Bottom left side, the one and only Shopify Rebellion's Blue Terran, Mr. BYUN. Wonderful. Wonderful. Alright, well, Alright, just kind of blocking off that Reaper ramp there. Fair enough, fair enough. Is this not a very easy angle to kind of utilize it for, like, siege tank pushes, though, then? Does seem rather difficult to deal with. Guess the benefit, usually like siege tank pushes like those are mostly really good against the Zergs, I want to say, but we'll see. We'll see. Anything can happen from this point onwards, guys. Like BYUN taking 2 games off of ZEST initially, but now it's tied up again. And I mean, ZEST, honestly, you should never underestimate him ever. He does have the potential to take any game at any point against anyone. And we should respect that. We all probably realize that is the situation already anyway. And so should BYUN. I know BYUN has a great amount of respect for ZEST as well. I would assume that goes both ways here for ZEST towards BYUN as well. Anything we're hoping to see here out of BYUN? Sometimes I feel like the early pressure from BYUN is just better than the trying to get the 3 base. Because, well, simply put, BYUN's superpower, right? What is it? It is trading as efficiently as anyone can in a game of StarCraft 2. Or at least as efficiently as we've seen anyone trade in a game of StarCraft 2 very, very consistently. If he manages to just, I mean, get himself trading as quickly as possible, then it just seems like a good way for him to go, right? To really make use of that superpower that we see him utilize. Surprise test with 10 Banshees, exactly. Just have 10 Banshees, make like what would we need? We would need 5 starports with tech labs. And then with 2 cycles, just 2 cycles to speed up time, we will have 10 Banshees. And then, with those 10, I mean, imagine the damage that they're gonna do against ZEST's Zealot army in particular. These are the strats we all came up with at some point, right? What if I just make 3 starports? Gonna get, like, even more Banshees. If you have more starports, you make more Banshees, and that's just a good thing overall. Nice. No debate there. Alright, so Blink coming up here for ZEST. Not really surprising. I think we've only seen the Stargate opening about once in the game. And even then, with the Stargate opening, you very quickly went straight into the Blink as well. I mean, it is the gateway-heavy focus play right now that we've kind of come to know from ZEST. ZEST unfamiliar just quite yet with what's happening in BYUN space. So he's not spending too much money. He's going up to 4 gateways overall. He's grabbing himself that 3rd base. He's not going crazy just quite yet. There we go. Sees the 3rd base as well. Now it should be good. Imagine a mind game if that was his main base that he just flew over there. Ah. I love those strategies. The strategies that to some people might seem okay, kind of, on the surface, if you don't know StarCraft 2 all that well, and then it's not. Right, Zealot Charge coming up here as we have BYUN salvaging the bunker. Might be ready or gearing up to go for a little bit of a push. It is a very open area, so this might be one of the best maps to make this heavy bio push work. He already did a stim though, and that means that he's most likely gonna have to wait for the Medevacs before he does anything else. Stalkers, of course, blatantly abusing this this position that they find themselves in, taking out a good amount of those Marines again. There we go. Yeah, it was 2 Stalkers, right? 2 Stalkers versus for the 6 Marines. I mean, it's not great. Could have been better. That Stimpak kind of catching him off guard, but he did return and took out a couple more. 6 Marines for 2 Stalkers is not bad. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I mean, it's somewhat equal in trades, right? Alright, here we go. The second attempt. Ooh, a big attack forwards. One of the medevacs almost gone already. That would be half of the healing available. I don't know what BYUN is doing here. The shield battery overcharge still going strong, and that is just, yep, alright. You're not going to break that one, BYUN. He was just so happy that he finally got on top of that Protoss army without the force fields disrupting him. Anyway, regardless, shield battery's not in the main base. This may have been a better move to do straight off the bat. Here we go. Army for BYUN here. Not entirely in the main base, of course. So that is a fight that ZEST is keenly taking here, it looks like. Losing a lot of that bio, but taking out a couple of the Stalkers as well. I think he got an Immortal there. Overall, not really worth it. Not really worth it. I mean, that in combination with just the bad trade he took over here. I mean, I honestly do think it would have been a lot better if he went straight ahead into that main base with those medevacs. If that was on his mind already. A couple of things that could have gone better there, of course, right? Just force the shield battery overcharge and then run the heck out of there. Maybe he just didn't manage to catch the fact that there was the shield battery overcharge. I mean, I would assume that he would, but overall, right, there's a lot of stuff happening in StarCraft 2. Sometimes just a very tiny thing like that, you might be able to not pick up on immediately. Oh my god, this White Prism gets killed off. That's a big catch right there. That was 4 High Templar flying over a little Widow Mine right there. And now we do not have any Storm available. BYUN here with 75 army supplies strong, looking to break down that 4th base and maybe even more. Oh my dear lord, ZEST may have just thrown the game with that War Prism loss. It's coming. The push is coming. 2 Disruptors are in production as well. That might be a final salvation here for ZEST, but it's going to be close. BYUN needs to dodge those 2 Disruptor shots. There's a couple of High Templar as well, again, being warped in, but a little bit remaining until they have that Storm. Still about 10 seconds left around that ballpark. It's coming up close, though. It's coming up soon. It is 75 energy, right? Am I crazy? Yeah, I might be crazy. No, okay, it is 75. That Disruptor shot does not manage to land. The Storms should be available now, but they're not yet being utilized. Widow Mines right underneath the Stalkers, but a good blink away. The bio, it may just be too much. Those Marauders, they're all low, but there's nothing to finish him off here. The probes are going to be the next target here. One more Disruptor. One more Disruptor does not manage to make it work. A Widow Mine there, dealing a bit of friendly fire and doing more than the Disruptor, but there we go. BYUN takes game number 5 and will be able to shut it down, close it off, and set himself up with another best of 5 here versus ZEST in the finals.